You're live. Hang on 1 second here. Let me pop out my chat. Oh, wait. No. Gotta do it in the right order. Chat rules. Please be over. Hang on. The age. Can't see what I'm doing. The age of. Hello, Shara. The age of 17. And please be kind to one another. There is my statement. Hello, everybody. Hang on 1 second. I am discombobulated, of course. Have you ever known me to be combobulated? Now, come on. Really, honestly. And, oh, let me move that over. Oh, I've got that for later. Okay. I am ready to go. Happy Sunday, everybody. And welcome to CLAldridgeArt. Hello, Shara. It looks like it might just be you and me, although it says there are 7 of us here. Hello, Robin. And hello, Heather. Apparently, Heather is here. I did not know that. I don't see her yet. Um, Hello, Mona. Nice to see you. It's so great to see everybody. Hang on. I was just stuffing down a couple of bites of summer salad and some tortilla chips. So, let's see here. Whoops, I am crooked. This is crooked. This is crooked. Everything is crooked. Okay. I just wanted to keep that out of the. You're gonna set your alarm clock for me. Hello, Melody. Oh, you did. Oh, you sweet lady, you. Welcome, welcome. You have been so missed. I am so glad that you are here. And I did see your note from earlier, and um, and yeah, I completely get it. I completely get it. We are going to do some very cool things today. Um, but wait till you see. Wait till you see. There's been a fairy godmother at work here. She called an Amazon truck. She had him stop by my house this morning. And of course, she teased me yesterday, right? So I didn't sleep all night. And, thinking, oh, what has she done? Um, and at any rate, well, let's see. You're in bed watching. Oh, good. I'm glad it's what? Oh, whoa, it's 2:10 in the morning there. Thank you for setting an alarm to wake Melody. That is the kindest thing. You are just so wonderful. So, hello, everybody coming in. And let's jump right in here. We only have a couple of hours. So, what have I got covered up? Ooh, I don't know. I tell you what, it's something I didn't have. It's something I've always wanted. And it's something I hadn't put on my list at Amazon because I don't know why. I don't know why um, I didn't put it on my list until just recently. And um, and so we'll get rid of we're going to ditch that sign. We don't need that anymore. Oh, I am working on a new drawing. Here is the start of it. So um, I don't know exactly where it's going yet, but I've started a new one. Oh, let's see. See, if once I show you the first thing, it's going to kind of give the rest of them away. Do you know? Whoops, sorry about the glare. That, that, yeah. We'll turn the light away for right now. Do you know that I have always, always, always loved Tim Jeffs? And um, and he was one of the very first artists to actually friend me. out of the clear blue sky. Tim Jeffs friended me. And I was like, wow. But his art had always sort of intimidated me. I kept seeing these absolutely stunning versions of it and out there, and I had no idea how I was going to color that. Hello, Daryl Lynn. Hello, Louise. Well, but wait. This is volume 1. What is that? Whoops, beside annoying that the camera is, hang on. Let me pull up the camera controls so I can turn off that annoying autofocus. There we go. That is volume 2. Right there. But what's underneath volume 2? The new one. The new one. I think this is the new one. Volume 3. Although I went to his website and it looks like there are now 5 volumes. I'm going, no, 3 is more than fine. Is there anybody here who hasn't seen these books? They are just stunning. And they're just amazing. Hi, Jill. They're just, the art is just amazing. And it's grayscale. And it's black background. And how the heck do you color this? This is what I've been saying to myself. Well, I went on to Tim Jeff's coloring group, and I studied how people are coloring them. And of course, I didn't know what was coming until this morning. So these arrived, and I've been doing that pretty much ever since, which is why I didn't get any lunch. But look at how gorgeous. I won't go all the way through them, although I could. We all know this one. This one has been around forever. So many people have colored it. I looked at the way that he did it here on the front, or somebody did it. I think it was him. He does it with colored pencils. And I mean, he's colored each individual cell, even the little teeny tiny ones. And I'm like going, oh, I'm committed, but I can't be that committed, you know. My eyesight's just not that good. When you look at this and you say, oh, goodness. Now, you know, keeping in mind that he started with a clean drawing. It's not heavy, but it's not light. I've certainly got books with paper that has heavier pages, but we're going to put it through a test today. All right. No, he actually draws these. But no, they're drawn. They're actually drawn. He's got like this micro pen. He uses the 005, which is just, when you look, I have a couple of 005s. When you look at it, it's got just a micro tip. Just a micro tip. Let's see if I can find one for you. Boy, I need a new drawing pens. Shoot. Hang on. Do I have? Let me see if I have. This is all I've got. This is all the drawing pens I've got left, which isn't very many when you consider that a very few of them are sizes I actually use. 005. There it is. So that, I mean, I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't think it'll focus on that. Well, I don't have it. Anyway, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how fine a line that is. And that's what he uses to draw with. Just absolutely. Sorry, my voice is going to fade in and out today a little bit. So, hello, Michelle. But like, oh my gosh, look at these. They're just ridiculously amazing. Yes, Robin, I am going to color one today. So anyway, this is, oh, look at the civet, or not. It's a, it tells you what they are. There's an index here in the front. I think that, oh, that's an ocelot. Is that right? Yeah, because the other is nautilus. That's an ocelot. And then there is a octopus and another octopus. Now, I've seen Dee Dee color these. Very cool. And there, I mean, there's crustaceans. There's all kinds of calm down, Christy. All kinds of very, very cool things. So this one, of course, the iconic image from this one is this Mandarin duck. And, oh, and this one. Now, he's got prints of all of these. And yes, Sammy did the giraffe. I'm going to do the platypus. Look at that. Hummingbird. And these are just amazing. Now, I should say that these are a gift from Shara, from Adult Coloring with Shara, right here on the channel. And Shara, these are just absolutely amazing. I just, you guys, one. Sending one is so generous. Sending all three is, oh my gosh. It's like, I love these guys. And, oh, there's the snake. And there's, yeah, that one. Why is it that some people just don't like peacocks? They're noisy birds, boy. They are so noisy. I think Melody, do they have, they have wild peacocks in a lot of parts of the world. I have a neighbor who used to raise them. But this is gorgeous. I wanted to color this, but I need to find a really good photograph to work off of before I attempt something like that, because this requires a lot of colors. I want that to be spectacular. Hello, Connie, and hello to anybody who has come in that I have not said an individual hi to. Look at these turtles. The turtles are absolutely gorgeous. And guys, if you go to Tim Jeff's coloring group or visit his Instagram or his website or any of the other places, his books are all published by Pomegranate. And there are some absolutely incredible coloring inspirations there. People who have really thought outside the box. And I am going to do some colors on my platypus. that are outside the box. And the only thing that I'm debating right this very second is, am I going to use CLAarts and Prismacolors, or am I going to use Inktense? And I haven't decided yet. But look at that gorgeous toucan. That is the last one in this book. Now, I love the fact that these are all placed on black backgrounds. So you don't have to deal with the backgrounds. All you have to deal with is putting beautiful color on this and popping it off the page. And just absolutely amazing. The kangaroos. And this, I had to look it up. This is an Amazonian royal flycatcher. So I want to look up some of those and find out what color is an Amazonian royal flycatcher. And I want to color that. And I want it to be, again, I want it to be spectacular. And the armadillo. I love the armadillo. And a snake. Snakes are very beneficial, everybody, in the garden, especially. They eat things that eat your stuff. A Grunov royal flycatcher. Well, actually, send off word to Tim. I imagine he'll put one in one of his books. This is a blue heron, and blue herons are so gorgeous. So this is, I almost wanted to color this today. This is, hang on a second, it is a Chinese water dragon. Oh my goodness. A Chinese water dragon. Can you imagine? Oh no. Oh no. You had back surgery on Monday, Jill. Oh my goodness. I'm just glad that you're able to type. Hello, Barbara. And hello, Sue. And hello, everybody. Oh, another. Now this one is. I love this one. Shoot, I don't remember what he is. That is a clouded leopard. So that's a clouded leopard. Look at how big his tail is. My goodness. And this is a cougar. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Imagine that. All the yellows and browns of a cougar with those big green big green or golden eyes. Look at how cool that is. And like I say, I love that there is no background work to do at all. Just concentrate on the subject. I love that about this book. This is an echidna and a honeybee, not to be confused with a bumblebee. That's a honeybee. And a rhino. And the kangaroos, the big version. I love their little faces. And of course, once again, he draws these. These are not photographs. These are hand drawn. And you know, he studies his subjects, and then and look at all the different lizards. I mean, lizards are another thing that are so beneficial in the environment. And Uh, well, yeah. Well, one of these days, um, you know, I have been so blessed by the um, by the YouTube community to be able to color these things for you, but I wouldn't be able to do it, um, if it wasn't for the generosity of people like Shara who deliver them to me to color. I can, I've got the camera and hopefully a little bit of skill, but but I'm really pleased to be able to do it for all of you, and to show you how I do it. This is a pangolin. Now I know that a lot of people. Oh no 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 no! How do you get over that, Daryl Lynn? That part is easy. This is paper. That's all it is. It's just paper and ink. And if you mess it up, it simply becomes a part of your story of learning to color. I have in my own books, in the books that I've drawn, I have messed things up to the point where they cannot be repaired. And yet I'll show them to you guys every week or every time I drag out that book because it's part of the story of that book. Remember the time that I screwed this up and we weren't able to bring it back? That said, yes, what Robin said is absolutely correct. Make a copy and practice on that page instead of, um, uh, you know, instead of worrying about, ruining an original book. I mean, these are hardcover, but it's just a book. It's just a book, and it's probably, I mean, unless you're passing your coloring books on to your heirs, which a lot of people are going to have to because we all have way too many. Um, uh, it's not going to outlive you anyway. And so you might as well have fun with it, use it to learn, and, and do practice ones until you feel comfortable, and then work in the original book. Or buy PDFs. Tim's got lots. I think he's got PDFs available. And I imagine if you belong to his coloring group, he probably does freebies. I do freebies with each one of my books so that people can practice. And I just love all of the, excuse me. Then you can practice different ways of doing it. Now, there is, I don't want to spit on my book, sorry. You see, that's why we wear masks. Blah. There it is. Yeah, this is the cover image. That's what I was trying to spit out. And look at the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I mean, he's used yellows and golds and reds and greens and blues and just all of these different colors to make Jill, hang up the phone. Hang up the phone, Jill. Sorry. Well, good. I'm glad. No, I don't want to know. Never mind. All my conservative friends just don't tell me. I love this. I love this bird. I can hardly wait to color it. All right, this is the one we are going to do today. We are going to do this gorgeous little duck-billed platypus. And I actually am quasi-conservative, but even I've had kind of enough. I love, and this little guy, this is a Quetzal. I want to say that's a Quetzal. What comes after the platypus? Yeah, that's a resplendent Quetzal. That one. And then, oh, that's a slow loris. And that's a whale shark. I recognize that. So, uh-oh, now they're calling me. YouTube, he heard me. There you go. I gotta turn that sucker off. I usually mute that. Oh, at least mine says spam. There's my dollar phone, guys, by the way. That's the phone that actually cost me $1 at the thrift store. And I got it so as caller ID so I could turn the ringer back on, because y'all know I'm trying to sell this silly piece of land that is, and it's just not there's just not a lot of people going out looking at land right now. Can't imagine why. All right, so we're gonna color this, and yeah, you don't have to worry about me, Sarah. I run toward the light, Christine. Run toward the light. So we're gonna color this. So what do you think? Should we color it with Inktense? Should we try it? Or I know, isn't that amazing, Shara? Look, Ma, no cord. That's been a joke. I have, y'all know I have a smartphone, right? But I have no cell service. So this sucker operates off my Wi-Fi. And so in order to have an actual telephone, I had to buy one of those ones that plugs into the wall. And I've used that for years, but recently it doesn't have any caller ID. And recently, to get around that, of course, I just turned the ringers off on the phone. But now, of course, I have reason to have to answer the phone occasionally. So that's why I've done that. All right, so Inktense. That's kind of what I was thinking, but we're not gonna but at all. We are just going to. So anyway, it's a well, it's not a rotary phone. Now, come on, it's a push button phone. At least I went that far. These are simply stunning, and I can hardly wait. I have seen just a gajillion versions of this, and I can hardly wait to make one of them my own. I have some ideas. Now, you won't be able to see this, but I do have a reference photograph that I am working from. Now, it is a reference photograph from nature. It is not a coloring. It was originally something that was published in, I believe, the New York Times in one of their color magazines having to do with endangered species for some reason. So I am going to use it. But one of the first things that I am going to do is to base it. I'm going to base the whole thing, even though I am using Inktense. I'm going to base it with these CLAart markers. So I need a couple things. The first one is not my plastic sheet. I definitely, because I'm working in a book with a marker on a relatively, it's good quality paper, I will say that, but um, the reason why I'm not using plastic behind it is because I want the ink to be able to soak into the this as it bleeds through and not out. So I'm just going to be very quick and just throw a base of this CLAart marker on all of my light areas. This is a dim green, which is the Y001. And welcome. I think it's. I want to. Is it? How do you say it? Is it Reese? Reese? Because it's spelled rise, but I know that it's probably spelled with an E. Hello, Susan. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. And hello to your lovely daughter, if she's there. And if not, then then I'll catch her later. Oh, and Dee DeMoyer, if you are watching, uh, um, thank you so much for turning me on to Whippoorwill Holler. It's a channel here on YouTube, and I am just positively addicted to it. she's got my my full engagement. And that's where I got the recipe for my summer salad, and it's so good. I mean, it's really just a cucumber salad, but it just was the right moment for that video to come through. Sounds like Risa. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so Risa. All right, thank you, Risa, and welcome, welcome. Uh, she's gone home. He was wait. No. Okay, okay. At the pet shop. You have a new dog. Oh my goodness. Oh, a puppy, Susan? Something to housebreak. So these light areas, I'm going over with the, this is for a couple reasons. One, I want to see how this paper takes marker. And the other reason is, of course, to just lay a tiny bit of color down that's warm, because I'm going to be working with some cooler colors. He's a year-old Yorkie, and oh, in that case, he's never going to be housebroken. I mean, he'll pretend, he'll show you, he'll pretend like he is. My stepmother used to raise them, but they're so cute. You put up with so much. Strong as an ox. Platypuses are amazing. I agree. Um, and they're little. They're not very big. I mean, you think of a platypus, I always thought that they were like huge, but they're not. They're just little. Because I keep confusing them in my head with a manatee. Okay, so, and then I'm going to also, whoops, sorry. All right, and then I'm also going to use a blue-gray. Hang on. I am just not done, am I? I'm also going to use a blue-gray, which is a barely light. Well, it's a very light. In the light areas of his little beak. Yeah, no, they're not. They're like little. Oh, look, let's look. Hang on. Oh, you sent 10 pictures. Cool. We can look at them. Oh, no, I'm not going to sign into. No, I'm not going to do that now either. There we go. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, look. Wait, hang on. Let me move my picture there so I can see what's going on. Whoops. There we go. Oh, look at how cute. There we go. Oh, look at how cute that dog is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Sorry. There we go. Up. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Look at how adorable. Now, what is his name? You said it was a he? Aw. Wait, done. Okay, let's look at this one. Oh my gosh. Look at that personality. You're talking to him, I can tell. Look, he's got his little ear curled up. Oh, that is so cute. Can you guys see that? I love it. All right. Okay. Marley. His name is Marley. Oh, that is so cute. Thank you, Melody. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yorkies are just adorable dogs. I mean, they really are. They really, really are. Aww. Thank you for giving a little doggy a home, Susan. Thank you for giving a little doggy a home. That is very, very cool. Thank you for sharing. So that is so exciting. It's always fun to have a new little friend. You get to used to each other, learn all about each other. I love that. All right, so now I'm going to put this in the most of the areas where I want the darker shading to go. Part of this is color mapping, and part of it is just, you know, throwing bits of a base down, just so there's some color. In all the various spots. See, and then when you throw it down over the, it's easier to see some of that shading. Color mapping, yeah. Color mapping is using a very light color to sort of pick out areas to add a little color to see if your color scheme is going to work. Because you could change it, or, you know, add to it slightly, or change it slightly if you've got colors that may not be playing well together. You can change them if you've worked with a light color. And that's the other reason why I'm doing it with markers to begin with. So you see, just by doing that, just by doing what I just did, it picks out my lights and my darks for me. So I now know where to use my colors. Tim has obviously drawn in because a way that these are done is he creates the drawing and colors it and makes it into a print. Then he takes that print and desaturates the color, leaving just his shading, and makes that into a coloring book. Me? No. I'm never actually okay. But yeah, I am. Lady had her egg. Oh, okay. So that's how you ended up with him. Now, was this like the animal shelter that you got him at? That's terrible. I mean, it's terrible that she had to have her leg amputated. Candy! Hello, Selena. It is lovely to see you, my dear. And hello, Kathy. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I laid down a base of the markers, and as you can see, it bled, but not too bad. So that speaks really well of this particular paper. Okay, so now let's see how it'll do with real water. Ooh. Let's see. What do we want to do? Let me pull my little there it is. Okay. Oh, I do love it. I do love it. Okay. So, y'all are going to think I've lost my little marbles, but trust me, I have not. Hang on. I do have too many things right in the way. So I want the, what color? I want the green aquamarine. Oh my, really? Yes. And I want the mallard green. Say what? You want the mallard green? Absolutely. That's the vivid green. That isn't it. That's the field green. That also isn't it. That is the mallard green. I want the iris blue because I always like the iris blue. I also want the, say what? I want the fern green. Oh no, Christine, you're planning on making a mess. Hi, Thomas. Welcome, welcome. And, and to anybody else who is here that I have failed to say a personal hello to, welcome. And okay, all right, Jill, I hope that you are healing, that you heal quickly. I know that you've got some underlying health conditions that, but hopefully the back surgery will do what it's supposed to do, and you will have a better future for it. Okay, and so I've also pulled the fern, and I'll pull the leaf green. We may or may not need it. I'm also going to grab just a tiny bit of the amber and maybe a tiny bit of the, actually, I'm going to put the amber away and pull the tan. Okay. All right, so we are now back to this. Just by adding a little bit of color to it, we've really, whoops, sorry. I keep trying to move this photograph out of my way, and so I can see this. And anyway, okay, so this is the tan, and I'm going to start just with a very, very, I mean, you know how I say, you let the weight of the pencil determine how much, because you can always add more pigment. All right, so I'm using the tan and just adding a little bit of the Inktense. In some of these areas. And I'm stroking one direction. And I'm doing it with the hair. Oops. Sorry, I don't keep bouncing the page on you. I'm doing it with the hair strokes that Tim has put in on this. And let me first zoom you down just a tad. Let's see, camera controls. Whoops, where are the camera controls? Camera controls. Advanced. Got it. Move those over. Zoom. Zoom. And I need to manually focus. I do hope that is in focus, guys. Let me know if it is or not. Okay. So I'm just literally letting the weight of the pencil put a little bit of Inktense down. And I'm not going over it completely because I don't want to lose those, those light highlights. At least not yet. I may end up darkening them up and going over them, but I'm going to work just a little bit down this side as well. just adding them up to where the dark is. Just sort of following what Tim has put in. Okay, so now I can add a little bit in different spots. But let's see how we've done on. The thing about it is I don't want to get this. I don't know yet how this paper is going to behave. So I don't really want to multiple, make it wet multiple times. Until I know how it behaves getting wet once. So it's very difficult to see some of the shading from where you are, but I can see it from here. So I can pull that in. Just trying to add a little bit of that fine definition in. This is so fun. All right, now I want the mallard green. I'm going to be very light. Very, very light. Just letting the pencil do the work. So pretty. Such a pretty color. So once again, this is the mallard green. And I'm really just throwing in a hint of it right now. Still color mapping, because as long as you can always, once, like I said, you can add more pigment, but you just can't take it away. So, adding the color, doing some, mapping of your colors, just deciding where, how far do you want that highlight to go? How far do you want that contrast to go? That kind of thing. And all of that. Sorry, I'm not paying any attention to the chat, you guys. Or not enough attention. Okay, and I'm also adding just a tiny bit of it in there. And then I'm going to just sort of not really double down, but going to add a little bit of blue here. Just very lightly. Maybe up here. Once again, just letting the pencil do the, the pencil do the work. The weight of the pencil determining, and always, going, sort of stroking it with the shadows and shading that Tim has put down. And this is the green aquamarine. So I also am going to use that a little bit in just some of the little darker shadows. Oh, I'm liking this. Please turn out. Please turn out, little guy. Turn out the way I want you to. Yes, make me look good. Okay. Just a tiny, tiny bit of the darker shade. And let's see here. Okay, so let's see how we did with just this little section. So this is just a standard standard water brush, and I'm just stroking it back. Oops, I've got my, what you call it here? Okay. Gonna have to decide to commit one way or the other how I want to do this. I want to go to the inside, the outside. Kind of all the way around the mulberry bush. Because I can see where I put the darks. Inktense is like magic, man. You know? It's just like magic. And you'll see I'm just going up and tapping off. I hope that this is going to work out. And if it doesn't, I'll have learned something. And that's worth messing up. Excuse me, that is worth messing up a picture. Learning something is worth it. Because when you know better, you do better. next time. I'll always be able to go back and say, this was the first time I used Inktense in a Tim Jeffs book, and this is what I learned. You know, this worked, that didn't, you know, that kind of thing. Oh, I am liking this. I apologize, everybody. You're only the link. Oh, yeah. She's not the. Do we have somebody that needs to be thumped? Oh, well, if we need to have somebody thumped, just send me a text or, you know, a message, and I'll thump them. I know Melinda has got she's got a lot of stuff going on right now. Paper seems to be holding up okay. You know, there's no, it's not biting me. It's not threatening to peel. Of course, you know, you have to be very light, and you really have to let it dry between layers. Okay, that's as far as I went with that. And I'm just doing the brush and blend out there. So you can see where I'm going with this, right? And right now it's wet, so we need to wait and we need to see what it looks like. Oh, hey, Kim T. There's Kim T. She's got a big hammer. She's my big hammer. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, Shara, don't have no fear, honey. I got the biggest hammer of them all. And I've never been afraid to use it, if you know what I mean. Okay. I like it. What do you think? Okay, so now we just need to keep going. I'm really pleased with the way that came out. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that it would. And I like it. Okay. So, but wait a second, you say, why do you have the leaf and the fern and all of those in your hand? Well, because at a certain point in time, he goes from being blue to being sort of green in certain areas, right? At least he does, according to this particular color source. And I wish I could show it to you guys, but it is a copyrighted photograph, and so I can't actually show you the photo reference that I'm working with. This is, by the way, the fern, which is a very yellow green, and I'm just sort of working it into, I'm working it into the lighter areas, and I should probably be working it into the darker areas, and I probably should be working it, actually I think I will, but I don't want to cover them up. So what I may do is grab the leaf green. No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab the tan. And I want the light areas. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I want the light areas to be more of this tan color. I'm not really pressing hard. I'm not even pressing medium. I am using a little bit of pressure, but it's very, very light. All right, so now I can add a little bit more of the leaf green, which is a step darker than the fern green. So I'm going to add that in some of these darkest areas. And just, not not solid, but more like hairs. Like fur hairs. Yeah, little platypuses. Maybe it's just that the photo references that I've seen are all babies. That could be it. But yeah, I mean, the zookeepers are, holding two of them in their arms. So I'm assuming they are small. At least the ones that are in the photographs are small. They're not very big. Now I can add, and Daryl Lynn, this is what I really mean by color mapping, because you see I'm adding green in here, but I also want to bring back a little bit of my blue, but I don't know exactly where yet. So I'm letting the green inform me where to add the blue. Does that make any sense? So this is the fern green again. Just sort of, once again, sort of bringing that into the darker area. Of these little stripes. Adding a little bit of it through the yellow or the tan that we put down. Trying to preserve that light area up there. And now, when I go to add the green aquamarine, or actually probably, because I've already got green down, I'm probably going to go with the iris blue, because this way This way it kind of makes its own blue-green without really adding, without adding blue-green. So I'm just adding a few blue hairs to go with the green hairs, just to be able to pull it all sort of together. And I've learned that that coloring grayscale is actually as detailed or as simple as the colorist wants it to be. You can make it look absolutely gorgeous with just straight coloring because all the shading has already been added for you, and those values are going to be translated in any kind of opacity of your mediums. So if your mediums are opaque in any way or transparent in any way, then the shading is going to show through. Okay, now we've got his, let's see here. I do want to go back to, excuse me again. I want to go back to the green aquamarine. And once again, only using the pencil weight. Just making it very, very light, coming off in just a little bit of his head and around this other eye. Hello, baby. Welcome to the world. Yes, I'm trying to bring you to life. How am I doing? Are you happy? Are you going to have a happy life? All right, so this is, and yes, I am talking to my coloring page. Don't you? Hi, Donna, and hi, anybody I missed. Oh, no. Okay. Thomas is okay. All right. So now I'm just adding a little bit more of the tan in there. And once again, going back to the darker, actually, there's a little bit darker of a line of the tan right in here. And another one right in there. Okay. And then just a hint of the blue again, but not, okay, actually, there we go. And just a hint of the leaf or fern green in here. Just more, to sort of make sure that everything is sort of color matched. All right, now let's see where we are now. Oops, actually, let's not, because I still have this area down in here to do, and I forgot about it. All right, so actually, that is not the color that I want. I want the her. Yes, thank you. So I was trying to watch something else. Okay. And I'm adding just a little bit, once again, of the teal green, or not teal green. No, that's the wrong color. That's not the color I want. I want the mallard green. Thank you. Not like it doesn't, they don't all have to be exactly the same. But just a tad of that mallard green. Once again, right in these little areas. Sort of also just lightly on the surface of his flipper, because they have these really cool webbed toes. I haven't decided yet what I want to do with those webbed toes. Do I want to make them black, and shiny, or because in nature they seem to be pretty much the same color as the platypus. Okay. All right, and now we'll add just a little bit of the green aquamarine as well, just sort of down the definition of the toe line. And this is a darker color, so I'm just adding it into those places that would be a darker shade. You don't want to do it so that it overwhelms, just very lightly. Oh no, wait. Coloring Protective Services needs to step in. To wait. What? At times I find my pages huddled in the corner. Aw, Shara. Coloring Protective Services needs to. Does that work better than begging pages? Begging your pages to cooperate? Hey, I'll beg my pages to cooperate. I've done that before. All right. I am actually also adding just a tiny bit of the tan in there because I saw an area where I wasn't happy with the coverage. So let's see how we've done now. Because I keep wetting, I'm wetting big areas of this so that it can dry. Normally I would wet smaller areas at a time, but I want it to dry. I'm sure my computer keyboard would appreciate it if I didn't wipe it off on the keyboard. Bring it down here. Oops. Hang on, I've got my, there we go. I can't see what I'm doing because I've got my camera controls up and oh, I missed a spot down there. So when I want to keep the lightest part super light, I'll brush down toward a darker color and then hit the darker color to blend it up into the light. Like for that, I don't want to interrupt the fact that that edge out there needs to remain super light. So I'm just pulling from the shadowing and then coming back the other way. Not quite as far. He is looking good. Corolla, hello, hello. I've been meaning to say to you, Corolla, because you are going to be probably in proximity to her. Give your mother a hug for me. And let her know that I'm thinking about her. All right. I am liking it. Whoops. All right. Once my brush is a little dry, so I just squeezed it a little bit on the paper towel. Okay. I'm just sort of working my way along. Boy, can also tell that I have not used my voice in, well, probably since this time last week. Excuse me. I'm liking it. Seeing how those blues and greens sort of mix together and create a very pretty oops, and create a very pretty blend of color. Now, using ink tints this way, this is not the only way that there is, obviously. There are many, many ways to use ink tints. This is just the way that I like to use them. I use them more like paint. than anything else. It's also one of the things that I love about them is that it is very literally, to me, it just feels like magic on the page. Okay, so pulling. And because I only used little bits of color, it's easy to control the idea it's not all melding together, you know? Because the biggest mistake that folks make when they use ink tints is they use too much pigment. And too much pigment is impossible to get off because ink tints is permanent. So it's not like watercolor where you can just, you know, dab off too much pigment. So whenever you've got too much pigment, you're just, you know, you're wiping it away. So that way when you go back in, you're not ruining your lights where you want it to be light. I'm not talking very much, sorry. You found some pretty awful ways to use ink tints. That is not true, Shara. I have seen some of the work you've done with your ink tints, and it's beautiful. It's just like any other medium. The more you practice with it, the better you get. And you know, I am learning with it every single time I use it. Uh, you know, and where is Coriander? She is asleep on the floor by the vacuum where the air conditioner vent is because she's hot all the time because it's hot. It's hot here in Virginia. And even though the air conditioner is set and on, which keeps it comfortable for me, of course, she's wearing a fur coat. So, um, so she's laying down there on the floor under the air conditioner or with the air conditioner. Okay, so now this is screaming out to me to be the blue green. So I'm going to pull the mallard green. Well, and the reason why it's screaming to be that is because of the fact that I used the gray, the blue-gray CLAldridgeArt base marker on it. So that, you know, that is another reason for your color mapping. So I'm just using very, very light mallard green. And then I'm going to pull the, let's see here, the darkest leaf green, the darkest green, which is this one. And I'm going to pull that into this darkest area here on the tail. Just once again being, you know, pretty much letting the pencil do most of the work. maybe adding in a few little bits along with the green. And then I'll add the fern, which is a step lighter, which should keep that green from becoming too heavy. I'm also going to add just a tad here to sort of darken up or make more green the blue of that mallard, or to make the green, yeah, to remove some of the blue from the mallard green. That's what I mean. And then, of course, I've also got the green aquamarine, which I can add just a tad of to here to add just a touch of blue to the green. And now I've got the tan, which I'm going to pull into the shady areas. That aren't 100% light. So where sunshine or light is hitting our guy. Our adorable little platypus. You are awfully cute, buddy. Yes, you really are. You are awfully cute. Okay, so we'll... I actually stand a chance of finishing something on a stream. I don't believe it. I will say that has, what, never happened? This paper is very absorbent. So there is that to keep in mind. It is sucking in the water. That's for sure. I would not want to go over this very many times. I wouldn't go over it again until it was fully dry. But I don't think I'd go over it much more than twice. So when you're dealing with something like that, then you're planning the depth of your colors accordingly, because you'll have a limited, a less large window if you want to make adjustments to your colors. Whereas, on my Amazon paper, well, I don't know. This doesn't feel like it's in any danger of once it settles down, it's hardly even buckled. I mean, it really has hardly even buckled. So it does. Maybe, it may withstand it, but it's very absorbent. See, and you can tell that a paper is really absorbent when it. Oh, you have to go, Shara. Shara, once again, thank you so much for this wonderful gift of these books. I love them, and hopefully, I'm inspiring some of you guys to love them too. Or if you already own them, to pull them out and color in them, because they are infinitely colorable. Okay, Case in point. I like him. Okay, so now this is going to be somewhat darker altogether, but it's going to be, oh, and I still have to do this paw out here. But I am going to what am I doing? I don't know. That's the mallard green. That's it. Okay. This is the green aquamarine. Now, of these two, what I want to know is which one is darker. I think it is the green aquamarine. You know, ever since I put the okay, I also want to pull out the iron green. Okay. That's what I am missing in my, okay. I am not going to make it another 15 minutes. I will be right back, everybody. Right back. Okay. Sorry about that. I was going to have to start doing the chair wiggle. Yeah. Okay. All righty. Where are we? There we go. All right. So now I've got the iron green. Melody, are you still with us or are you sleeping? Just checking. Okay. Or hopefully you got your ink tints out and you're coloring along. Okay, so I'm just adding a little bit of the iron green, which is the darkest of the greens in these dark areas. Just a little bit right in there. Sort of along there. Okay, and then I can grab the mallard, oops, the green aquamarine, and do that in the, see now the green aquamarine is, make sure, yeah, the green aquamarine is bluer, and the mallard is greener. Okay. So I want the bluer of the colors here. adding a little bit above. Then, oops, right in there. And these are just hints of colors. I don't really want to, I don't really want to make this a dark, it is, technically it is dark, but this has got a lot of light on it. And so I want it to reflect that it's got a lot of light on it. But also that it is a dark object. So I may even add a gray. We'll just have to see if I need to do that. I probably will, but so I'm just sort of picking out various spots where there's, where there's a little shade. All right, and now I'm also going to add a little bit of the, thank you, Mona. Hi, Nicotina. Bye, Susan. And enjoy your new baby, Marley. I love that name. Mama Wilkes, yes. I love that. Okay. And yeah, I'm really kind of liking the way that Inktense works in this. Now this is just, subtle coloring, and I am sort of making a meal of it as far as as far as I'm really enjoying it. I really am enjoying it. Okay, so now I'm just adding a little bit of the blue. All right, and well, let's just see. I suspect that I'm going to probably want to add in some grays. Okay. So I'm going to try the neutral gray. Do I want the neutral gray or do I want the Payne's gray? No, I want the neutral. The Payne's gray is too dark. I want the charcoal gray. That's what I want. Sorry, I didn't mean to close the book on you. But I got to find the charcoal gray. Oh, for pity's sake. There it is. It actually looks almost black, but used in a very light way, it is gray. So I'm just going to, I've got my hand all the way back here. I do not want to use any additional pigment other than just a little bit of gray. So in order to control that, I'm going over all the color. because all I'm seeking to do is just a hint of it. So once again, we can always add more, but we can't take it away. Okay, so let's see how we did here. I do like the fact that it seems to repel a little bit of water in the immediate. So it leaves it standing on top for a second. That's a tough angle. I can't hardly see it. I can hardly see it. That's, geez Louise Christie. So I actually want to go up and down with it. There we go. To sort of get it to, and I'll tell you guys, that's, kind of like one of the things that I have found is that this is not a medium or, anything other than watercolor paper. It doesn't really do well if you use a scrubbing motion, but sometimes you just have to, sometimes it's just what's called for. And I will look at chat again in just a second. Hopefully I've still got a few people here. Yeah, I'm going to have to tweak this. Pretty sure. Because it's not quite how I envisioned it, but sometimes, and I will also say this a lot, sometimes art has a different idea and art is right. So embrace your mistakes because they may not be mistakes. And for heaven's sakes, don't buy a beautiful book and then leave it sit on the shelf. You bought it because you wanted to color in it, right? So no more excuses. Tweak how? Well, I think that I'll probably bring in some darker shades to because the platypus's beak is actually a darker color. It's like brown or black, Risa. And in playing with the values, I like the blue green. All right. And I like most of what I did with the highlights, but I need to darken up some of these areas around around the outer edge and around the edge of this. The duck-billed platypus has like a duckbill, and this is like this loose flap of, I don't know, leather. And I think I can make it darker and still leave a highlight, and it'll look better. So when I mean tweak, I just mean touch up color. You know, that's when because I tweak a lot. Like I'll sit here all week long with a picture that I'm, a work in progress, and I'll look at it, and suddenly it'll say, make me darker. And so I'll make it darker. And then, a little while later, it'll say, well, okay, that worked, but now that means that you need to tweak this part. So I can add a dark blue, Kim. And actually, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Actually, that's a good idea. You always have good ideas, by the way. Oh, by the way, did you all see, for those of you who missed the fact that I executed on, remember last week with, blah, blah, blah. Oh, the one we were working on with the mermaid. This one. If you didn't see, oops, sorry, didn't mean to make you dizzy. Look, purple skin. And it worked. So this is where this is right now. And of course, I made a video about it. So, but yeah, obviously, like I said, I can't do it right now. So yeah, dark blue would work. I also am going to want to add, I'm going to want to increase the blue value or the green value in a couple of places up here. So in a couple of places, I'm going to want this up in here to be as blue as this. So, but those are things that you work on, and like I say, it'll sit on my desk as a work in progress for, could be forever, or at least until it speaks to me and tells me what it wants. And of course, my coloring supplies are always out on my desk, so I can tweak these things a lot. And Lord knows I've got 500 works in progress. One of these days, I'm going to do a midweek video that's nothing but working on works in progress. It's speed coloring of works in progress, and so I can get them finished up. Anyway, everybody, y'all know how very, very much I appreciate the fact that you come here and spend some time with me on Sundays, and do such kind things like this as send me beautiful books. It is, of course, it's technically guest artist Sunday anyway, so I know that I've sort of done an entire month of guest artist spots, but that said, thank you very, very much for supporting your local artists or your independent artists. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but all of us right now have suffered a huge decline in our businesses because of what's going on. So, and for those of us who, like me, who are self-employed, you know that is, that is something serious. So where you can, help support your local artists, please, or your, not only your color book artists, but your local artists in your communities. Please do so, because coloring books are one of those purchases that people make when they're not having to worry about putting food on their table, and there are so many people right now that are having to worry about that. So uh, and so they're not buying stuff. So if you can help support your artists, that's great. Uh, anyway, uh, I apologize for that. So until we meet again next week, Sunday, 2 o'clock, uh, color something pretty, everybody. And thank you all so much for being here. Bye.